051, Young Money, is one of the most notorious sets in the south side of Chicago. This set is known for a high rate of killing, and is known for having a legitimate number of killers in their squad, with multiple bodies on them, including THF 46 members in this context. 051 members are mainly Mickey Cobras. They also consist of BD and GDs, and some of the older ones were even Stones. 051 territory covers more than the average gangs in Chicago. They cover 3 square miles, in which the average gang covers around 2 square miles of territory. The areas in which are controlled by Young Money is their local areas like Hyde Park, Kenwood, and Eastern Grant, which is shared between 051 and Drexside. 051 took a while before they became an established gang, but were established during the time frame of 2006 to 2007, which was the time things started cooking up between Young Money and THF. THF 46 is a gang that is based in 45th 46th, Drexel to Woodlawn, and is a group that is heavily known for their beef with 051 Young Money, and is one of the bloodiest and most notorious wars in Chicago. THF is one of the most dangerous sets in Chicago, and has been around for a long time, with elders having dropped a lot of bodies. THF 46, also known as 46 Terror, the THF is supposed to stand for Trigger Happy Family. The youngins of the two respective gangs often went at it and fought each other in school, and also outside. This is how many beefs started. As they grow up, they get involved in gangs, and get involved in heavier businesses, aka guns get involved, and was only a matter of time before someone were about to get murdered. The first person to get killed was from 051, and went by the name of Loss. Guys called Franco and Boo Boo from THF were the alleged killers at the time, but Franco was the one that later got convicted of the murder. Loss's real name was Carlos Mariles, and was shot and killed on March 13, 2008 at 4800 South Drexel Boulevard at the age of 20. After he suffered from multiple gun wounds, Carlos was taken to the Northwestern Memorial Hospital and was pronounced dead at 3:28 p.m. THF is known to be allies of THF are sets like O-Block, Lamron, 600 and THF 44, and they all have a common enemy, which in this context is 051 Young Money, but still 051 and O-Block haven't dropped bodies from each other yet. One of the considered top guys in THF is Bezu, which is referenced by Dirk in No Auto Dirk. Like I mentioned earlier, THF are all up on their ops, giving them their reputation out on the streets. THF ops are 051, SKD, Mabu, Touch Money, 757, Met Boys, Suwu TTB and Mob. In 2008, Zeko got killed as he was returning home from Ashton University on 27th of September that year. He was asked to go to eat at McDonald's after he got a haircut at the barbershop, where he had gotten into problems with rival gang members from 46 and fought, which led up to him getting shot with multiple gunshots, leading up to his death the day after. The killer was allegedly Aki from 46, and became a suspect. He later fled to Indianapolis, but got caught and was eventually sentenced to 27 years. Zeko World Zeko Gang was later created in his honor. In retaliation, a friend of his, and a member of 051 by the name of 051 Montana, went and killed 2 THF 46 members in 2011. The first one was on April 8th, where Montana shot Quint, and on July 16th, he killed Tony, and both of them were beloved members of THF 46, and fueled the beef even more. In 2009, Bezu and Brabra allegedly killed Dominic from 051. Bezu got arrested and held for the murder in 2014, and got locked up for 3 years awaiting trial, but got released because of lack of evidence, and the next year Brabra went on and killed Twin, so THF 46 was going off for a while there. Montana dropped 2 bodies the year after as retaliation. The next year of 2012, 2 more people would unfortunately get murdered. The first case was in May where Bob O from 46 allegedly killed Lil Chief. It is said that Bob Zero caught Lil Chief lacking in an alley on the 5000 block of South St. Lawrence Avenue in the Bronzeville area. Bob O shot him in the chest with multiple shots, and had a .45 caliber gun. Shortly after that, Young Money got to retaliate, and Lil Mick from 051 caught Black from THF 46. So as you can see, killings happen from left and right between the two respective gangs, but this ain't even half of it. And not to mention 051 was also having a war with 600 at the time. 2013 was the year that a female from Young Money were about to get killed, and went by the name of Big A. She was 051 Ario's sister, and she was supposedly involved in a lot of hits, and was a so-called driver for the gang. She was allegedly involved in La Capone's death, and a couple of others. Nonetheless, she got killed in a gas station by a THF 46 member. It is said that Dre Money was the one that caught her, and were with Westbrook and Lil Ant. In March 2014, Lil Mark was wanted for shooting Twila from 46 in the neck. 3 days later, after he released a music video, Lil Mark and Lil Ant were allegedly looking for THF members to kill. They didn't find anyone, so Lil Mark was waiting by a bus station. That's when a van pulled up with D Rose from 600, THF Twila, D Roy and King Von. The first shot was by D Rose breaking the glass, and Lil Ant managed to run away. Lil Mark tried to run as well, but got shot in the head. One of the most known members of 051 is 051 Melly, aka the Grave Digger, was known for being a full-blooded killer, and killed a lot of his enemies due to gang beefs, and were one of Lil Durk's biggest hops, as he killed many associates such as his manager and cousin. The close friend and manager of Lil Durk is known as OTF Chino, and was known to be affiliated with THF 46 as well. Melly wanted to get under Durk's skin as Lil Durk was disrespecting 051, and besides the video where he dissed Lil Mark, he also released the Finito remix, where he said he was gonna shoot Young Money up. Melly had a video on Twitter, talking to the cam, where he rebuked Durk for being a fake gangster, and how he had just FaceTimed him, saying he was not on that, like he isn't capable of what he is talking about. Few days later, Chino was murdered, and this happened in March 2015. Chino was disrespected afterwards, as Melly was on a live on Instagram where he was eating a burger, and called it a Chino burger and laughed in mockery of the murder. It wasn't long until another shooting was about to occur, as Bezu's stepson Raheem wanted to step up, and shot at Melly. Raheem was only around the age of 14 to 15 years old. Not only was he Bezu's stepson, but he was also Duck's cousin, and Duck and Melly were friends. It is alleged that Duck warned his cousin not to do it, but he didn't listen. He shot Melly, but Melly survived, and of course, Melly himself, as anybody would be, was not too happy about that, so something was about to come for Raheem as retaliation. Raheem had also shot Ario in the shoulder, so Raheem had to be aware that something was gonna happen to him. Melly was hit on his foot, and it is alleged that a bullet grazed his head as well, but the bullet that grazed his head was allegedly by TP, an older member that was with Raheem at the time. 2 weeks later, Ario and Melly were in a car, and spotted Raheem in an alley, and were killed. Some say it was Melly and some Ario. They were both there at least, and that's for sure. Ario was also the one that got charged for the murder, so evidence seems to point at him more than Melly. But Melly still got credit for it, as he was there and maybe even shot a few shots himself. It occurred in the Bronzeville neighborhood. Raheem was with Twin that day. The two of them were outside in the 4400 block of South Cottage Grove Avenue, when Ario and Melly opened fire from a car. Raheem was found by the emergency shot in the back dead, and Twin got shot in his foot, but wasn't too big a deal. He was taken to Cummer Children's Hospital according to the authorities, where his condition got stabilized. As Raheem got shot in the back, he ran into an alley where he collapsed and died. This was a heavy loss for Bezu, as he was very fond of his stepson, and he was in prison at the time. It was also a great loss for FBG Duck, as Raheem was his little blood cousin. But he understood that it was about war, so he stayed cool with Melly. He knew Melly got shot by Raheem, and that there would be consequences. As 051 Young Money took Raheem, THF was eager to catch a body from 051 just to get eye for an eye. Westbrook in August that same year, caught 051 Wank, and murdered him. Wank was an OG from 051, and was at the age of 35, which is most losses, were a heavy loss for Young Money. Wank was supposedly shot, as he was walking by in Kentwood. He was walking in the 4900 block of South Drexel about 8:30 p.m. when a white SUV approached, and the front passenger, allegedly Westbrook, exited the vehicle, pulled a handgun, and fired multiple shots, according to police and the Cook County Medical Examiner's office. After Westbrook had shot him, he supposedly ran back into the white SUV, and drove away fast from the scene northbound, according to witnesses. Wank is said to have lived nearby the scene, where he was killed, and suffered gun wounds to the back and his arm, according to the authorities. As emergency services rushed to the scene and picked him up, he was rushed to the Northwestern Memorial Hospital, and was later pronounced dead at 9:04 p.m. The year of 2015 was about to be a crazy year, and these turn of events were connected to the two respective gangs. 3 murders were about to be committed by THF 46 and 051. The first one was the murder of T. Berg from 051, and was supposedly shot and killed by Rome from THF 46 and T-Man from THF 44. The block he was shot at is based in Englewood. According to Officer Barry Lemon, a Chicago police spokeswoman, it happened around 8:45 p.m., where the 2 men walked up and opened fire. He was caught with multiple shots, and suffered from a lot of gun wounds on his body. As the ambulance rushed to the scene, they brought D. Berg to the Northwestern Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead at 10:35 p.m., and nobody was arrested in connection of the murder. There was a live stream, where 051 Drilla and Tracy from 46, where Tracy claimed T. Berg's body, or that he was there, yelling his name. Drilla reacted very strongly, saying he's going to jail. Speculations are that he was only talking trash, but we'll never know. But according to Drilla's reaction, you would think he had something to do with it, but is only alleged, nothing for sure. Then the third murder that was supposedly committed by the gravedigger himself, Melly. The man who got killed is Trayvon from THF 46. It was November 30th. Trayvon also used to claim Marvin World. He used to live only a few houses away from Melly. The police found Trayvon's body in a gangway with gunshot wounds to the head and stomach. Speculations are that he was either followed by Melly from his home, or he was caught. As Melly has strong ties in Malltown, he used to hang there more than in 051 territory. A few days after THF 46 retaliated quickly, a shooting happened in East Hyde Park on December 2, 2015. A member from 051, known as Shot Mac, and was 33 years old. Shot Mac was walking in a park in the 5400 block of South Cornell, where Rome allegedly pulled up behind him and shot him, but wore a mask. As you can see, 2015 was pretty hectic, but the war continues. He was in prison for armed robbery and a murder case since 2015. He finally managed to get out as he beat the case in March 2017. He was picked up by his friends, and as they drove away, another white car pulled up with 051 Drilla and Montana and shot up the car Bobo was in. He died immediately. The car Drilla and Montana were in rushed and ran a red light and crashed into a car, and they ran away from the car rapidly. Bobo's attorney was shocked, as he was a friend of his family for over 2 decades. He also advised him to get out of the neighborhood as soon as he got out, but unfortunately got killed within minutes as he left. How Drilla and Montana found out is unknown. Maybe someone set them up, or someone talked, and it leaked out onto the streets. But it is, however, still unknown. 051 Young Money, or more specifically Drilla, and Montana were proud of that murder, as it was a big hit for them, because Bobo was a menace in the streets, and they also dissed him a lot, so they seemed happy about that one. They literally dissed him in multiple songs. Drilla would diss him, clowning how he never got out. After the murder of Bobo and the fact that Drilla was involved in the murder of Nusky, THF 46,600 and Lamron was aching to catch Drilla and kill him. One day Twin from 46 and Drilla saw each other out on the street, and both of them were strapped. Drilla was chasing Twin, but as Twin was running, he somehow opened fire towards Drilla. Drilla got caught in the stomach with 3 shots, but somehow got lucky and survived. 051 Young Money and their allies would start beefing. Young Money was about to endure one of their biggest losses. 051 Melly.db, Motor, Melly, and FBG Duck were the link between their respective gangs. 051, Taekwon World, Jaro City, and STL/EBT. Beef started cooking up primarily between 051 and Taekwon World, because Melly and Nate started beefing over some dice games. Melly allegedly opened fire towards Nate's house where his baby mama and newborn baby were, but luckily didn't get hurt, and that would obviously not slide, just like that. In September 2019, Melly was attending a party with 051 Lil Greg, Shawnees, a few Jaro City members, after one of Duck's friends died. Melly was told to be careful, as there were going to be some ops that could secretly attend the party, but Melly didn't seem to care, and went anyway. It wasn't a plan set up or anything. Melly was just lacking big time, and Nate found out about the location. Nate went with Dro and opened fire towards the party and caught Melly. This was allegedly not a Taekwon worldwide decision. Dro allegedly got shot in the head for his involvement, and Melly was important for their alliance, so TW were trying to let them know that it wasn't like that, saying rest in peace Melly, and taking distance from Nate, and denying him. 051 didn't accept that it was only Nate and Dro involved, so they started threatening TW members and their families. TW were trying to make amends, but as they took distance and allowed Dro to be left in a crippled state almost dying, they figured nothing was gonna be enough, and started dissing back.